Yo, what up? My name is Don, and today I want to talk about the growing use of AI in content creation and art across the board, and why or why not that may be a problem. So, with that being said, let's hop right in. All right, so this video is not so much to point out the pros and cons of AI, but more to highlight where the artistic industry is going and how all this really relates to content creation. Obviously, because there is a lot of art and media that goes along with creating content. Whether this is live content and some of the subgenres of live content that I want to highlight specifically, and or it's YouTube, or it's music, or it's a more traditional medium like drawing. Um, AI is has come to fruition, has come to the point that it's gotten to very fast. From kind of, let's say, even I don't know, 5 years ago. Time passes so fast. I don't know if it was more time than that, but say less than 10 years ago, a handful of years ago, AI really blew up on the public scene, with people actually being able to access all sorts of, AI chatbots, and then AI, um, you know, softwares, I guess that's what I should call them, that uh, kind of impacted art and started creating art. And, again, this video is not really to talk about the legalities or the justs or the rights and wrongs of how AI was introduced. Although we can make this video a whole hour, but it's more so how I've really seen it um, become a bit of an accelerated issue, I guess, lately, or it's just like maybe it comes in waves, right? So there's certain times where I guess the hubbub about it is a little bit quiet, and right now it's very loud with things like no animosity, no hate towards the VTuber community. I don't watch the VTuber community, but there is a situation going on right now where potentially hundreds of people got scammed for their character that they use for their VTuber model, from a company who was, you know, allegedly, I guess is the word I should use here, um, generating some parts or maybe many parts of the characters with AI. And, I don't have too much of an opinion on that issue. I guess my point is to just say you can see how quickly, because it's not, I guess, in that issue, what I'm understanding, it's not like this company obviously disclosed that they're using AI to create certain elements of the product, and the customers were under the impression that they were being worked on by humans. um, and today, um, there's a whole other kind of big roar about the CEO of Procreate came out, and James Kuda, I believe is his name. That is correct. James Kuda um, came out to say on video that he hates generative AI, and that their products are always designed and developed with the idea that a human will be creating something. That is a direct quote from the. I tried to say those two words at once. That is a direct quote from the video that he came out with earlier. That they came out with earlier, and I actually requoted it. And actually, funnier, just before I made this video, Procreate, the actual business account, liked my post. So that's pretty cool. Um, I'm obviously gonna follow them now. I'm not an artist. I'm learning. I've learned a little bit of drawing elements, and I would love to learn to draw. But my thing is music, and music um, is not protected from AI by any means. Just scrolling down YouTube before I started my video, I saw a video that was about using AI to some sort of AI program or AI software to be able to generate degent riffs or degent. Am I saying it weird? Gent? Is it just? It's whatever. Gent, right? Gent riffs, gent grooves, um, and it's the video was basically titled like, um, get like a tons of ideas, endless ideas from this. And for me personally, I've always been curious about AI, but a little bit apprehensive at the same time. I like the idea of because I'm a big advocate in my own ongoings of things, I'm a big advocate of improving the workflow always. I would love for more things to be automated, things that don't necessarily, things that are repetitive, right? I obviously want those to be automated, and I don't necessarily know where to draw the line between good automation and AI just doing a bit too much, like taking away some of the um I guess when I look at the process of creating something, there's the repetitive and then there's the creative process of it. And if you get automation and or a automation to take care of all the repetitive stuff, that's fine. We've had that for a while. I'm thinking of situations in my head like, this is stepping away from content creation and stuff like that. But I'm thinking we've obviously you can think of like a car factory, right? They have machines there that do automatic things and they just, whatever the machine does, it does. But where what would trip me out is like, okay, just to go with a bit of an extreme maybe example, um, the designs of new cars, we're now designing them with AI, right? And just telling AI like, oh, max aerodynamics on this car and triangular shaped, just to be difficult, um, or something, and it just makes like the optimum render of what that is without any human input. And you know it doesn't, nowhere in there does it mean it has to look good. So this is kind of the problem with uh pulling it back to content creation. This is kind of the problem when it comes to the use of AI. There's, call it, I don't know what to call it, the human magic. There's something very sterile is the word I will use, and very bland, and to get a little bit esoteric, a little bit soulless about when you look at the product of generative AI. Um, I'm not sure in what use cases it can be used as a, you know, like adding a benefit to the situation that it's used in or the circumstance that it's used in. But for me personally, I feel like it really, um, as a viewer, right? If I put myself in the shoes of being a viewer, whether it was a band that I might be going to see live, or even a YouTube video or a song that I'm listening to online, or it's you know, artwork that I'm looking at that, and to encompass this all, I'm gonna say that's AI generated, or it's artwork I'm looking at, or it is a video that I'm looking at on YouTube that, and we've all seen this, right? That has the not only the AI voices, but the video itself, the presentation of the video itself is done with AI. So just cobbled together a bunch of um, uh, relevant, I guess, B-roll clips or clips that the AI decides to show you. And I think a part of what breaks there is the um, understanding, between like human to human. Like when you're trying to convey information from one human to another, um, you may do it a certain way without ever thinking in your head, this is the optimal way. Like, you want to think about what's a good way to explain this to somebody, but you're not just calculating like, x2 c squared over this, but this way is more optimal. So I'm going to tell them exactly like this. Like, when if you've ever used a chat GPT, the thing like the way it talks back to you, even though it's trying to seem human or whatever, it still comes off a little robotic. And I just, a lot of people, there's people that embrace that, I think, without thinking about the the loss of the human aspect of things, or if they even care, I don't know. But it is a to me, it is a bit of a growing issue, and and it's obviously not new. This doesn't start like yesterday. This has been going on for a while, right? But it's you know, I'm just seeing more and more issues personally. I'm just seeing more and more things personally where it's like, oh, AI was used, oh, AI was used, oh, AI was used, or there was no, there was no it seems like there was no human input in the process of creating something to give that what is the word? When you're just having conscious thought about something to decide if it's a good idea or not, like you're checking yourself. You know what I mean? There's no human there to check the AI process, and we're just like letting it go off the chain. So obviously, this really alienates not only humans as creators, but it really alienates humans as viewers and appreciators of things. So it's not exclusive to just like artwork, um, but artwork is, I guess, one of the potentially easier things to like traditional artwork, drawing artwork is maybe one of the easier things to simulate, emulate, like emulate. I don't know what word is more appropriate. But just like the Procreate, CEO said in the message, um, and something I didn't quote, which is that in the video they said you can find it on Twitter, um, and maybe it's on their website. I don't know, but it is on Twitter, and they said they don't know basically how the journey, where this journey ends, but that's when it leads into the quote of they're not going to include AI in their products because it's designed and developed in mind with a human creating things, and it's so weird. It's really so weird to almost like acknowledge that there's this like subtle battle happening between like humans and AI for creative control, and it's just weird to think of. So, you know, one of the most obtuse things that I see, and it irritates me as one specific thing in the content creation space, is like when I see, and a lot of people post AI artwork when they're just trying to express some sort of idea, and I think those people are doing it without thinking about the damage it might be doing to just the reputation of human-made art. Like, and I think it's going to be one of those things where um it's too late, like too little too late. We collectively just notice too little too late because once something is widely accepted, you know, what are you going to do, right? Like obviously artists don't make up the majority of humans, like not everybody's an artist, and but once something is widely accepted, what do you do? And art in general was already a thing that, you know, like why is there the term starving artist, right? Like why why am I seeing videos from prominent YouTubers like Rick Beato saying like most musicians, not even sure if he put a percentage to it or not, but it was like most musicians make less than 10K per year or something like that. It's just like artists in general, whether it doesn't matter what medium you choose, artists in general are struggling. And now when you can, because humans want instant gratification. They want instant this, instant that, instant that. And like think about it. Think about a real life situation like if you've ever gone to get a tattoo by a it doesn't have to be famous, but just a well-known tattoo person. We're booked out for 6 months. We're booked out for 2 years. Like we're booked out for 3 years. Like you literally gotta wait 5 years for that tat. You know what I'm saying? And or the AI robot. Whenever they get AI robot machines that can tattoo to a certain quality, why wouldn't people do that? Human says, yeah, I can get you in, I don't know, 7 months. And the AI is like, well, I can do like for some people, good enough is good enough. The AI would be like, I can do 90% of that quality. Not that they're saying this, but that's what they're offering. 90% of that quality, and I'll get it done right now, like that. I'll just show a little, you know, holographic JPEG on you and just laser it on you and just like shoot the ink into your skin. So it's wild, man. But like I said, the subtle battle between human created things, like human creativity, and software based creativity that was extracted essentially from that was extrapolated, that was trained on human creativity. It's such a weird thing. So um you know, uh, going on off on the people that post, AI to express a feeling, they are doing it without thinking, and while they may not be doing it maliciously, I think they're adding to the problem. And there are a lot of people who purchase, and I think these people know a little better. There are people who purchase profile pictures and such from these graphic designer companies, right? These graphic designers that approach you, and if you're on the content creation space, you know exactly what I'm talking about, that make these graphics that are absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous, like dogged horrendous. They look the same, you can tell it's AI. All the line work is the same. It's just a really cheesy, cringy, terrible looking um art style. It and not because of the art style itself, but because how many people, I guess, are tricked into something that is honestly such low quality. I don't know how to, like, it's crazy the amount of bots or people that are acting like actual, that are just scamming, basically. They're just acting like other people. They're acting like graphic design. I don't know how this process works, but it's so pathetic, and I'm just like, what is this, right? I am not an artist affected by AI. I do not draw, so I'm not good at drawing, and I don't have art out there, so I'm not in jeopardy of having my art trained on, because my art just exists in a little book behind me, and it's terrible. So I'm not too worried, on my own behalf. But I am worried about what I see happening, and I'm lucky right now, personally, as my artwork on my channel, my live stream channels. My artwork has come from my girlfriend, and I, not only adore it because it's my girlfriend made it, but I adore it. I actually think it's stellar AF. Like, I think that um, this is a process where she, like, I expressed what I wanted. She capitalized on that, and I do not think that AI would be able to do that the exact way that I wanted. It's about the idea to communicate your idea to another human, and for that understanding is what's missing. Like, I don't understand how, no matter how much you train, I say this now, but watch me eat my words in like less than 20 years, because we just have cyborgs walking around and stuff like that. But you can't train an AI to have that same understanding and convey that same understanding, how, like, that connection that two humans would have, or that understanding, that bridge of communication that two humans that would have. I understand that's what's trying to be emulated, but feels wrong. So would love to know if you are, whether you're someone that's affected by the apparent VTuber scam thing going on, with a bunch of people paying out hundreds of dollars, like upwards of $500 for their models, and essentially getting scammed. Would love to know from you if you pass by this video. Would love to know from you if if you were someone that bought AI artwork in the past and you found out later. You know, would love to know from you, or if you're someone that just thinks it's not a problem, and buys into it willingly, or again, just thinks it's not a problem. Essentially, would love to hear from you. I want to open up discussion about this, because I think there's not enough discussion about this in the space, and healthy discussion, right? I don't want to rip anybody's head off. But yeah, I think that, personally, I just think that human creativity is awesome, and it's something that should be celebrated. And I wish that before this whole problem of AI kind of leeching off human creativity, that humans supported human creativity. Um, that's all. That's all I really have to say. Everybody has heard the saying, "Go support your local bands. Go support your local this, your local businesses, your local that." I ran a local business, and you know, my business, if you've watched some of my videos before, photography, videography, that is not, I've already touched on some of the videography parts, but the photography part obviously is still photos and stuff, and just photo composition. And there's tons of parts of photography that are not immune to AI. And so, I think it's a big problem all over. And I'm not really offering a solution. I'm just opening up a discussion. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. And as always, if you like content like this, discussions like this, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.